Most people think there's only two ways to sell your property when you want to sell. Either list it and sell it with a realtor or sell it to a cash buyer. The truth is, multiple paths that you can take, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down some of the buckets you can find yourself in when you're looking to sell your house in Columbus, Ohio. And by the way, if you are looking to sell your house in Columbus, Ohio, or anywhere in the whole great state of Ohio, you can visit us online at sellhousecolumbus.com or pick up the phone and call us at 614-300-5151. My name is Dave. We've been buying houses here in Ohio for over 14 years, worked with hundreds and hundreds of home sellers, and we'd be happy to get on the phone and discuss options with you as well. Okay, let's get into it. Bucket number one is the retail type house, and this is the perfectly clean house. Maybe you've remodeled it. Maybe the house is stunning. It's got a brand new kitchen and bath and new paint on the walls and a very desirable neighborhood. And maybe you are somebody who's got very flexible timing, meaning you're under no timeline whatsoever. You don't care if the house sells in a week or 90 days or 120 days or 6 months for all that matters. This is called the retail type house, and these properties are ideal for a realtor. This is where you list it and market it with a realtor. Realtors, many of them, do a great job. In fact, when you call us, when we're discussing options, if listing with a realtor is your best option and best path forward, we'll straight tell you that. We'll be transparent about that, and we can even refer some really good realtors if that's the best path for you. Now, what comes with a retail type sale in this bucket is you're dealing with a buyer who's more than likely using financing. They're using a traditional 30-year type mortgage to buy the property, and with that comes inspections and appraisals, and there's a lot of little hoops that need to get jumped through for this transaction to close. So there is room for error, meaning there's opportunities for this thing to kind of fall apart. Also, these buyers who are using financing, they're not going to close quickly. This is going to be a process, but if you have the time to go through the process, and if you have some liquid capital where you might need to fix a little something to appease the buyer's lender, but if time is not an issue for you and you have some money in case you need to put into the property, listing with a realtor is a very good path to choose. Okay, bucket number two is the sellers that we put into the bucket of life happened. And let me tell you, after over 14 years of doing this, bad things happen to good people, and we see it all. We're talking everything from job loss, medical issues. This is pretty much every day we see something. People behind on their house payments, probate, inherited types of situation, tenants. We deal with landlords who are tired of being a landlord, code violations, any number of things would put you in this life happened. It's not that you're a bad person, it's just that something changed in your life or with the property, and now the property in of itself is somewhat of a pressure point, and there could be some type of timeline involved where you have to close by a certain date as well. So if you find yourself in this bucket number two, life happened, the best thing you could do right now is work with somebody who's going to give you certainty. And this is a cash buyer who's going to buy the property in its as-is condition. So what does that mean? That means you don't have to do anything. You basically take anything that you want to keep out of the property. That's yours. That's your personal property, right? Anything that you don't want, you can leave as it is. You don't have to haul anything away. Us, as a cash buyer company, we work very well with these types of sellers because since we're cash, we're going to buy it in its as-is condition. Anything or any repairs that are needed, we're going to handle that. Our financing or our cash is not contingent upon an inspection. So we don't have the type of lender that's going to want to send their people through and have you fixed some things before our funding is able to get approved. There's no inspections, there's no formal appraisals or anything like that. So the best thing you could get is just certainty. It's certainty in knowing that you don't have to do any work to it, and certainty in the timeline. A lot of people don't talk about the timeline, but it's extremely important when you're in bucket number two. This is the certainty. So when you're working with a cash buyer like us here at Sell House Columbus, we can design the closing date around your situation. So if you need something fast, we can absolutely make it happen fast. We have hundreds of testimonials on our YouTube channel and on our website that you can check out of people saying just that. They can close fast. Or if you need something flexible, we can do that as well. In fact, we're working with somebody right now, and we've worked with many people in the past as well, where we'll close on the house and maybe they need a small amount of time to stay in the house even after the closing. So we're closing with a seller right now, and they're collecting money, collecting proceeds from the sale of the property, and they're going to use this money to move and set themselves up for moving and stuff like that. We're letting them stay in the house for a small amount of time after the transaction. That's the type of flexibility you're going to get from a real cash buyer like us here at Sell House Columbus. You're just not going to find that from a traditional buyer and working with a realtor like in bucket number one. So what it looks like to work with us, let's pretend you're in either one of the buckets. It's very easy. You contact us at 614-300-5151 or online, sellhousecolumbus.com. When we get on the phone, this is not a judgment. This is not us passing judgment or nitpicking you and your situation. All we need to know is information on the property and information on your situation to the extent of what you need out of this, meaning timeline is a huge one. And that's why we need to know and understand about the situation. And I promise you, any situation you might be going through is not anything we have not dealt with. We've probably dealt with a similar situation this week. We talk to 80 to 90 people every month. We've seen it all, and we've helped people through every situation you could imagine, from tight timelines to flexible timelines, etc. So when you call us, it's going to be a very simple conversation, and we're going to make you a cash offer on your property. We're going to make you a fair cash offer, and it's going to be transparent, meaning we're going to share with you how we're coming up with our numbers based on other properties that are selling in the area. We'll give you the addresses of how we're coming up with our numbers and our comparable properties. So everything's very transparent, and there's never any pressure, and there's never any obligation. Communication, clear communication, is one of our core values. We're always going to communicate very clearly, and if our offer works for you, great, we'll move forward. If we move forward, you will be kept in the loop 100% of the time. You're always going to know where we're at throughout the process. If our offer doesn't work for you, that's okay too. We'll shake hands, we'll part as friends. Again, there's never any pressure, and there's never a situation where you're placed into an obligation. And finally, bucket number 3 is maybe you're in a situation you want or need to sell your house, and the house is in pretty good shape, but you're not in the life happened category. You don't really have a pressure point by any means, but what you're seeking is convenience. And I can't blame you on that. I talk to a lot of people who are downsizing, people who just don't want to deal with a million different walkthroughs and people getting the house ready, and they're just annoyed by the whole thought of the situation like that. They just want simplicity and they want convenience, and we absolutely can provide that to you. And really the way we look at these things is, let's figure out what you would net if you were to market and list this property with a realtor. So let's look at, if you were to sell it with a realtor, realistically what it would sell for. From there, we'll back out the normal commissions that you would pay, the normal holding costs, and any miscellaneous fees that are very standard in a traditional buyer bucket 1 type of listing. If we back that out, oftentimes we're able to pay that amount or even more, but still be a cash buyer for this property. It's the best of both worlds. It's really actually one of the best situations you could be in. You're not under the gun on a pressure timeline. You still got a great house, but you just want to keep it simple. That's where Sell House Columbus really shines, and we can make this thing extremely easy for you. It's not a sales pitch or a sales tactic or anything like that. Just help us understand what's going on with the property and what you're looking to get out of the property. Again, if we could meet your needs and make it fair for you and fair for us, we'll move forward. It'll be very easy for you, just like we've done with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other people. If it's not a good fit, we'll shake hands, we'll part as friends, and we'll even point you in a different direction. We're happy to do that. Our goal is not to buy every single house from every single person that contacts us. No, our goal is to communicate clearly and help present options in a clear way where you can make up your own mind. If it means working together, great. We look forward to that. If not, that's okay too. My name is Dave. I look forward to working with you. Once again, that phone number is 614-300-5151, or visit us online at sellhousecolumbus.com. I look forward to working with you.